Hello and welcome back to LCS Oversimplified. It's no secret that 2022 was a rough year for TSM, but so far in 2023, things are looking up. Heading into spring, GM Chowie brought back Solo, Chime, and Maple, while bringing in Neo from Dignitas and Bugi from the LLA. We didn't think this team would be a playoff contender heading into the season, and let's be honest, neither did you. But they shocked everyone in Week 1 with a 2-0. If allowed to scale up, Maple has been a standout that can win TSM games. Bugi's early game has been impactful. The team has been solid, but only just solid, treading water in the middle of the standings. Chowie shook things up and brought back WildTurtle to the LCS stage in Week 6, and despite improving the laning stats, they haven't quite broken into the top of the standings yet. But TSM has been proving the doubters wrong all split long, and they can keep that up by returning to playoffs after missing last year. They're on the verge of doing it here in Week 8.
That's your official opinion,
playing
I guess.
FlyQuest win, and they have a chance, lose, and they're out. But before that game, I did want to bring back an old classic in Jatt stats.
Yay!
Oh!
My favorite!
Let's go.
We're starting right now. Here's the first question. This champion has been played 11 times this split, but only won once. 11 plays, 1 win. It's multiple choice. Let's roll up the choices right now. A, Viego, B, Gnar, C, Aurelion Sol, D, Aphelios.
Ooh.
Gnar.
There's
One
2
win,
ASOL wins.
10
Harry
losses.
and Palfox have both won on ASOL.
Yeah.
Viego's had multiple wins, I'm pretty sure.
I think it's Gnar.
I think it's Gnar.
It has to be Gnar, because I know
Yeah.
Summit and Armut are Gnar enjoyers.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're too good, so you have to answer the bonus as well. Who won with this champ?
Who won with
Who
Gnar?
won with Gnar?
Because you are
Was it
correct.
Summit or was it like Licorice or something random? Because Licorice played a lot of Gnar
Oh,
games.
yeah.
I'm going Licorice.
I think Armut.
I'm going Licorice.
All right.
Gnar, Licorice. Oh, it was
Summit.
Summit!
Oh!
Picked up the Gnar win. Okay.
All I can
you were
see is the
good.
TP.
That's a good warm-up. We were talking earlier about MVP discussion, and we realized it's been an unquestionably dominant split for AD carries. The top 5 players in the LCS leading in kills are all AD carries. It's a convoluted question, just listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
When is the last time, other than this split, that 5 AD carries comprised the top 5 spots for kills?
So basically, what was the last 80 carry dominant meta?
Yeah, was it A, 2022 spring, B, 2013 spring, C, 2017 summer, or D, this is the only time it's happened?
Oh, trick question
Oh,
here.
yeah. I was going to say, I feel like also putting 2017 summer is interesting because the Ardent Sense.
It wasn't popular then, though.
But yeah, it
People
wasn't-
were slow to pick it up.
That's what I was going to say.
That's a
I think
trap.
it was only at Worlds.
2013, just 80 carries were hella busted then with like IE
Now.
Rush. Yeah.
Now?
I'm going D.
I'll go B. We'll spread out. I think
I'm going D as well, only because mids also used to do a lot more
Oh, you're
damage,
right.
in my opinion, in
Yeah.
2013.
Yeah, no.
Oh, you can't change your answer now,
Wait,
Mark.
let me on D.
Nah, the ship is closed.
Hey!
What?
What?
It was a year ago.
You're right.
It wasn't
Wow.
like 80 carries
all
were
suck.
good last year too. But actually, what was funny about this is Bjergsen, weirdly enough, kept screwing this up. Like
You'd be the
he
one
was
guy in
always
there. Yeah.
somewhere in top 5. So
Now watch out for those
it's like an
mids.
LCS specific thing.
Man.
Okay, next question. This is a fun one. There is a stat for neutral objective stolen. Neutral objective
That
stolen.
includes just scuttle
It's like
crabs?
a Rift Herald,
Yeah.
a Dragon, or a Baron.
Okay.
If you steal it, like the other team has done the majority of the damage, but you're the one who gets the
Does that
last
include
hit
scuttle
on it.
crabs?
No,
Blabber.
not scuttle crabs.
Okay. No.
Not scuttle crabs.
All right,
It's happened 20 times. One player has 5 of them. Has a quarter of all steals. Who is it?
Contracto just popped off. This has not been up today, I assume, for
Yeah.
Contracto.
No.
Okay.
But
Is
he
it
wasn't.
just a
He
multiple
wasn't.
choice
He
one?
wasn't close. No, you just.
Damn it.
It's going to be a jungler, obviously.
Yeah,
so
it
like,
has to be. I'm going Santorin.
So what's good? Yeah, I was about to say.
who's the steal king?
Yeah.
What's funny is too, the more games you're losing, the more opportunities you
Yeah,
have for
exactly.
steal.
Wait.
If you're just dominant, you can't steal.
Okay,
You
can't be.
can.
No.
I
Can
don't
be.
think it's.
I'm
I don't think it's. I
I'm
don't
gonna
think it's
guess
Santorin.
River.
I don't think it's Santorin.
I like
Who's
your
really
Santorin
good at
answer.
It was a
stealing?
good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, closer, 100 Thieves. They're kleptos.
You're all wrong. It's Spica. Also, FlyQuest is coming up. I'm going to make these topically relevant.
Okay, now I just know what
Wait,
the answer for
come
the
on.
next one.
Yeah, 5 steals. Amazing. He's the Smite King, this split.
My theory was wrong also about
Okay.
losing games.
Yeah.
The final question is easy. So
Okay.
you only have 5 seconds
Oh,
from the time that I finish. So if you're reading, then you're cheating.
Yeah, we already read ahead.
yeah, it's already over.
5 seconds to respond. When was the last time TSM finished top 6?
2021
2020.
summer.
2020 summer. Yeah, 2020 summer.
Nice job. It
Yes!
was like literally only a little bit over a year ago, and they were first.
Wait, they both said 2020. I said
No, I said
2021.
2021.
I was the only one who said 20. Check the tapes. I was the only one who said 2021,
I know what
right?
you're talking about.
What'd you say, Emily?
I did say 2020 initially, yeah. So I got it
Okay,
I gotta figure out if I'm a liar.
We
I'm
have
gonna
a
go back and watch the
tiebreaker
VOD.
update.
Now you gotta figure
right.
out if I'm a
Raz
liar.
flip-flopped.
Tiebreaker update.
Oh!
Oh! This is a hypey graphic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whoa.
So I was just told something. I was just told something about TSM being officially eliminated.
Really?
Nah,
But
it
that's
can't
not
be.
true.
That's not true.
It's
That's
a
not
fake.
true.
It's a fake update.
A fake update.
Yeah, because in the first...
TSM is nearly officially eliminated of all of the remaining schedules.
So if
Yeah.
no,
Yeah, but
here's
there's
the thing.
three-way ties, producers.
If Dignitas
We'll see.
and IMT win, along with obviously
We're going to toss the
TSM,
casters. I apologize for the
then
snafu.
it's a three-way.
We'll see
It's
if
a
it's
three-way.
actually officially originated.
We need our own button
Yeah,
for
It's
that
a three-way
update.
tie.
Yeah.
Apologies. Flowers, Kobe, Fudge, take it away. Fudge is here.
Yo, what's up, guys? We got Fudge here for this one, joining us on the TriCast.
Hello.
I also don't know how to read those folding sheets. I've been here for 7 years now. I've given up. But anyway, we don't know exactly what's going on with TSM, I guess, but we do know they're going up against FlyQuest, and this is a team that struck terror into the hearts of everyone else for the first half of the split, and then recently, not so much.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that FlyQuest lose. Honestly, if I have to play a tiebreaker at like 10 p.m., I'm gonna be out of it. So, hoping TSM can win, even though we did sort of hurt them in their chances after losing to CLG just now. So, yeah, I don't actually understand anything about what's happening with the standings. I don't really
me
pay
either.
attention to it. I just try to play the League of Legends.
Yeah, I just try to talk about it.
Yeah,
We're
I
on the same
think
boat.
my general advice for playoffs is win more games, then you have a good chance of getting in.
That's a good idea. That's a
Don't
good
lose, and you're gonna be good.
An excellent approach, my friend. Now let's see how they're approaching the draft. Talia, Rakan, Elise banned out by FlyQuest. TSM targeting some marksmen with Caitlyn and Varus, rounding it out with Elise Sin ban against Spica.
Yeah, Spica's Lee Sin is a bit scary. They obviously ban Elise because red side Elise is just a lot better than blue side Elise. Yeah, it looks like they're going to first pick Annie. Annie is usually banned on red side for the most part, just because the flex, both support and mid lane, can be really, really good, and it's just a really strong champion in general. So, I'm pretty certain, yep, there's the first pick. Please, lock it in, please.
Let's see it. There it is. Okay, this feels so common whenever it's not banned on red side like you're talking about. Blue just says, okay, Annie, fine.
Yeah, it's a very common pick in first pick.
Yeah, super strong, super flexible. For TSM side though, okay, what are we looking at for them to try and snap up here in exchange? A lot of bottom lanes available. The
Wowie.
Jinx got, after those recent buffs, Jinx is really, really taken off in priority.
Yeah, I think Jinx is giga broken, honestly. You just play tank top lane, and you just play Jinx, and Jinx just out damages every hyper carry in the game pretty much. So I like the Jinx pick from TSM. You know, good draft. They're trying to win. That's what I like to see.
Yeah. Gotta
And
put all
the-
the eggs in the basket.
The insta Thresh too, to pair with it, to try and give it a little bit of extra safety down there too. Looks like it'll just be the classic trade here though. Prince on Zeri has been pretty scary so far, at least on stage in the LCS.
And I mean, Prince was a huge win con, a massive advantage that FlyQuest seemed to have over most other teams in the LCS. But with their recent slump, teams have started targeting him. It's like, okay, we know this guy's a win con. Let's beat him up early. Let's focus some pressure down there in bottom. And it's going to be the Vi here for FlyQuest on Spica's jungle pick.
Something interesting here is actually, like, usually Gragas is picked pretty early in draft, and right now Gragas is just pretty much ignored. I think the best pick for TSM is actually Gragas on 3, but maybe they haven't been practicing as much because usually it's banned in scrims.
Okay.
They might not be very comfortable on it, or, I mean, they might just think Wukong is broken against Zeri. I'm unsure what they're thinking, but...
Does your focus on comfort picks and familiarity go up when the stakes are higher like this?
Definitely. I think if you're not comfortable with a certain champion, you honestly shouldn't play it, because what happens in these stage games, you get nervous. If you're playing a champion you're not comfortable on, you're just going to miss every angle. It's just not going to be a good pick, honestly.
All right, let's whittle down on those solo lanes then.
Oop.
Annie, of course, is still flexible right now. Not picking up mid or support to try and give away anything. This extra scaling off the table.
Yeah, no Aurelion Soul next to a Jinx. They don't want to deal with the 40-minute guaranteed win.
So they split their bans here with Ahri for mid lane and then Lulu to cover if whether they flex it or not, and try and get the Zeri Lulu in exchange.
I think the Lulu ban honestly sort of just forces Annie to go support. I don't think there's any other really good pairing with Zeri here that they could pick. So I think it's very likely that FlyQuest will just blind pick mid lane here for 5. It's possible TSM also just picks mid on 4. I'm unsure what they're going to look for. Maybe something like Syndra. I'm not really sure if Maple has been playing it a lot. Obviously, Azir got nerfed really hard, so Maple sort of just stopped playing Azir. They just picked Cassante. So Impact doesn't actually play Fiora, which I think is one of the better matchups. He does like to play Gwen, though, so I wouldn't be surprised if he picks a Gwen here and they just play a mage mid.
Which one of those matchups do you personally think is more difficult for Cassante to deal with?
I think the laning phase of Fiora is a lot harder for Cassante to deal with, but Gwen is a champion that can be a lot more useful in Fiora in teamfights, depending on the comp, just because the W and the ulti can be a lot better in teamfights. Jax is also not bad because Wukong is obviously really bad against Jax.
Yeah, I feel like we had this big wave of everyone all over Jax at the beginning of the split, and it died down so quickly.
Yeah, it was actually kind of interesting because the nerfs actually weren't that bad. But now that LPL is still picking it a lot, I do think a lot of these teams get a lot of inspiration from LPL, so Jax is just blind picked over there.
Whoa.
Ooh, Heimerdinger.
Heimerdinger,
Okay,
you were saying.
technically still could flex.
That's not happening. I'm so sorry.
Buy some of this, come on now.
They are not
Nobody's
flexing this
buying
Heimerdinger
that.
mid lane.
Nobody's buying that. Okay, so it'll be Annie most likely mid, and then the Heimerdinger support down there with the Zeri.
So they did nerf the Heimerdinger turrets too. They're a lot easier to kill now. I want to see about the Zeri Heimer push, if they're actually able to get it, because Jinx is actually no joke down there now.
So with the Syndra locked in as the final pick for TSM, which comp do you like better, Fudge? Like if you get to see both of these, which one would you rather be playing?
I think I'd rather be red side, just
Okay.
because I think Cassante and Wukong can solo a very long time on frontline, whilst Vi tries to kill their backline. And I think the Jinx and Syndra just do a lot more damage from a higher range against their comp. However, if FlyQuest do have control of the early game and they get control of those objectives, it's pretty easy for Vi to find good flanks and get pretty good engages on their backline.
So reminder to everybody out there what's on the line here. If FlyQuest lose, there is a tiebreaker later today between FlyQuest and Cloud9.
No, if FlyQuest wins.
Oh yes, FlyQuest wins.
So I'm hoping they lose.
Yeah,
Please
yeah.
lose.
Yes, if FlyQuest don't lose.
TSM! Hauntzer's back!
So new top lane.
I was so
tier-
sad to see. Like, Solo played bad one game and they subbed him out. So sad.
Oh my goodness. Hauntzer though, his first game looked pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not bad.
Obviously you haven't played against him in quite a while.
Yeah. He's the OG.
You been able to find him in solo queue or champion?
No, at Champions queue.
Who am I talking to here? You still have 0 games Champions queue play. Now it's time to roast Fudge for not playing Champions
Hey,
queue.
bro, I play more solo queue than most top laners again.
Fair enough. How many
There you go.
secret accounts you got?
I got 2.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
The man of mystery. Well, the mystery remains, can FlyQuest stop their slide and secure themselves that tiebreaker against C9, or will TSM have what it takes to hand them another loss?
TSM! TSM! Why'd we stop, guys?
You got to build them up. Keep going. You got to get some first blood momentum going here.
Yeah, usually it's Heimerdinger. You want to get bot lane control level 1 just because his turrets can be a lot more impactful.
Yeah.
So I like TSM coming here. I'm not actually sure if TSM win this, if it was 5v5, but it's good that now Heimerdinger is not actually going to control the bushes.
They're going to take the dub. They killed one turret.
So, worth pointing out, we saw yesterday some press the attack Vi. The Azale's found the stats for it. It's like 8% global play rate on that rune. Pretty rare compared to the Conqueror or the Aftershock, but Spica's going to be using that as his rune on the Vi this game, so just a slight deviation there to point out, but everything else is pretty stock standard cleanse on both AD carries here as well with all the CC.
Yeah, to me, I definitely don't like it, but I can see why it's kind of adapted for pro play. It's just going full team play, because you're going to provide your team with the extra little bit of amp damage. For solo queue, you should be taking hella blades. You should not be amping for your team.
It actually looks like Jax is trying to invade level 1 here. This is a very normal strat on Jax because he's a lot strong level 1. He doesn't have lethal tempo though, so the level 1 isn't as impactful to like punish the Cassante when he's walking back to lane. He might actually look to his proxy, like go behind the minions here and just like keep trading on Cassante, try to deny some mini next speed maybe.
Yeah, let's see if we can click on Cassante. Thank you, observers. See if they can deny.
He's gonna get a good trade at least. He won't deny any speed.
Yeah, he runs into range.
It's still pretty good for him,
That's a
honestly.
lot of health here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Potions worth of HP chunked out here nice and early. Down in bottom lane, two hyper scaling AD carries as the game goes on. We already touched on Jinx's range a little bit, one of the edges she'll have over Zeri, but Zeri also has the advantage of being Zeri. So later on in the game, there's always that scary possibility of the pentakill popping.
It's also Prince. He's very good.
Yeah.
Ooh, I want to call out too. This is the quickest level 3 if you want to do a super early gank bot, is Red Raptor's Gromp. So that's a possibility for Bugi. He doesn't have to go for it. The other thing about that route is that you're not trapped into level 3 ganking bot, but that is the quickest way to accomplish it if you want to. And so Wukong here does get his level 3 off his Gromp. Since Prince was able to get bottom push, they move up, they get their ward in river. He decides against it.
Something he might have also been scared of is if he does all 3 topside camps, maybe Vi can invade him because of bot lane push. Not really sure. Looks like the bot lane trade's actually going pretty well for FlyQuest.
Yeah, Chime looked like he wanted to use the Flay to remove the minion and then immediately death sentence for the surprise, but unfortunately the minion lived with 4 or 5 HP, so just ends up finding that instead. Bugi is not going to go for the rush gank bottom, instead just opting into fully clearing out that blue quadrant of his jungle like we were talking about. You can see Spica doing the same thing. On the mirrored part of the map there on his own side, top side is still being totally dominated by Impact here in the trades. We saw how low Hauntzer got taken. He's gone through his potions to keep himself there in the lane, and Bugi's returning to bot lane now.
Also another thing with top lane right now is he has no potions, so Jack's having potion advantage. He should look to bounce the wave and try to gank him with Vi being on top side and Wukong being on bot side, so hopefully FlyQuest do not die to this gank. Actually, I hope they do, but they shouldn't die to this gank because it's really hard to gank here as Wukong. I'm not really sure what he's looking for.
Intellectually, I would like them to not die to it.
Personally, however,
I would like them to. This is my favorite top laner ward. Good job, Impact there. Moves up on his big push wave that you were talking about. While Hauntzer's trapped CSing minions, he gets the ward onto the Krugs. He sees, hey, Krugs have not been done.
Spica, however, can just clean them up right in time before Bugi arrives.
And this is also something very important for top lane right here. The wave is bouncing and he clears his ward instantly, so now Cassante is going to be scared that Vi could be his the entire time. So he will likely need his jungler to push out here, or he will just base TP back and lose a lot of minions. So this is a very good play by FlyQuest, getting Krugs and denying the ward in top lane.
Impact did drop a decent amount of CS while he was aggressively pushing, so he actually didn't even acquire too much of a CS lead there, pushing Hauntzer under the turret.
There is a very big wave, so it's likely he's going to get about a 10 CS lead, I would say, on this bounce. He actually doesn't thin the wave enough here, so Cassante could probably crash solo here. Can't really stop him.
Yeah, looks like he'll be okay.
How much do you typically want to thin the wave by?
I mean, you want to keep at least like 3 range minions usually, just because that still allows it to push into you, but it's not enough to the point where they can just fight you in the wave and there's too much minion damage.
Well, Impact will farm all of these up if he gets the remaining 3 last
Beautiful
2 here.
CS.
Yep, there it is. And he's +9, right where Fudge said he would be.
That was a bit off.
We round up. That's fine.
Right
It's
where
totally
he said
cool.
he would
Right
be.
where he said he would be.
It
He said
actually
he-
looks like TSM's getting first dragon. This is actually huge.
Yeah, 5 minutes in, they're already starting this up. Not taking it super fast because, of course, you know, very early take means it's going to take slightly longer. VicLa and Eyla thinking about going down, but TSM find VicLa. They force the flash as he has to retreat. The Annie taking some damage there, but now Spica and Prince are ready to reinforce. FlyQuest forced them off of the objective. TY for leash. It's a FlyQuest Drake 5 minutes and 45 seconds in.
Yeah, that's really huge for them as well, because it's just like, I mean, I guess Annie has no flash now, so you could look for ganks on mid lane at level 6 with Wukong, but getting the first dragon is very important for FlyQuest. They have to get ahead, in my opinion, in this comp to win late game, so... Oh, what is happening there?
A little bit of lamppost combat. Hauntzer, unfortunately, not level 6 compared to Impact, so he knows he cannot take a full-on fight, just has to retreat away from that.
Something important here to mention is that Cassante actually has TP advantage, so during the Herald timing, if he looks to trade top here, he uses both of Jax's potions, and then he gets him to low HP, TP's back, he actually has a lot better tempo for the Herald, and maybe they will actually be able to get the Herald off of this, but it just depends on how the trades go.
VicLa just going to look for the potential opportunity of a roam towards top side, but take the blast cone back over the wall. Impact getting some very solid turret damage here. Almost the second plate after these ranged minions get done attacking, but not quite there. There's your favorite top side ward again, as Impact will keep an eye on those Krugs.
My favorite top laner, Impact. Of course, Hauntzer is Fudge's favorite top laner right now. Go Hauntzer,
Be careful
biggest
what you
fan,
say.
of course. You always believed in him, right?
Be careful what you say. Nah, he is very good at playing for his team.
Oh.
So he's ooh.
Spica's just waiting on Bugi. Oh, Vault Breaker charged up, gets a huge chunk of damage. Bugi flashes just to guarantee that Spica's not able to chase him. If he doesn't flash there and Spica has a ward to place over the wall, he can follow him with the ulti. So Bugi just guaranteeing he doesn't end up in any more trouble, but Spica's not done yet. He wants flash to jumps him into the ground. Solo kill for first blood in the jungle for Spica.
Oh my God, that was actually just nasty. Spica beat him up in his own jungle, took both his camps, beat him off both of his camps, took his flash. He knows he has the flash advantage afterwards and follows for the kill. Holy moly. Okay.
Pause. My W is bugged. Okay.
Oh my
also another
goodness.
thing with this kill is now Vi is again on top side, and Cassante's wave is pushing out. So top is jungle diff, basically. Very well played by Spica.
Feels good, man.
I feel like it's a nice payback because Impact did go for the red invade, you know, so give him a little bit of chunk. He also got a nice health lead. And so Spica then coming back and dominating with the level 6 versus level 5 health lead. And Bugi used his W and his flash was down.
Yeah.
So as soon as he sees that Wukong, you're dead.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Unlucky for Bugi. Hopefully the pause is nothing too serious so we can get back into the game ASAP. Nice little bit of a lead for FlyQuest early on. And for TSM, that one just feels kind of bad. Solo death in pro play always feels a little bit unfortunate because generally you want to at least make your opponent commit more resources for that.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you just reminded me of last game that I just played.
I'm sorry, buddy.
I mean, it was a really cool opportunity that Spica was able to jump on too, you know, especially with Vi being able to queue over the back of the Baron pit.
Yeah.
Sneak right in for that invade on the perfect timing on red with the level advantage. We've got a replay, so you don't have to watch the pause screen.
Okay.
What do we got here?
Replay time.
All right, we got some bottom side stuff. What was this one?
It was just a trade.
Oh, this is just, we're watching the bottom side as Spica kills Wukong top side. And this was, yeah, a death sentence into a flay. Then Chime has to get back. WildTurtle pulled to safety. Bottom doesn't really turn into a whole lot of anything, but this was what was happening on the other side of the map during the Vi versus Wukong beatdown.
It's just a how to flay onto chompers tutorial. Nice little replay. Thank you.
Okay, I have a question for you guys.
What's up?
Who do you guys think should be MVP? Spica or Prince? Out of those two.
Just from Fly. If you're saying the MVP
Just
is
from
coming
FlyQuest.
from
Just from
FlyQuest,
FlyQuest.
which of those two? Spica for sure.
Good.
Jung-
I agree. What's your question? What's your
Jungle!
answer? Can you answer?
Jungle! Don't go against your junglers, Flowers. Come on.
Hey, they're not my junglers. They never played Skarner. All right?
True, that's true.
Like, it requires...
Prince never played Skarner either.
He's not expected to.
Okay. So you're going to go with Prince?
Well, I would actually have to take a look back at the stats to see exactly how dominant Prince was early, because I think there's a little bit of recency involved in like dismissing Prince more
is true.
because of
That
the
is
fact
true.
that he's been targeted so much recently. Like, you remember back to Prince's early split games?
Yeah.
The guy was just like descended from heaven to play League of Legends. Like, he was entirely different compared to everybody else.
I will say during these FlyQuest games, when it was the era of FlyQuest, there's top of the league, winning all their games, winning stage games, and there were a bunch of teams talking about how, wow, they don't do that to us in scrims. They're playing so much better on stage. Spica was spamming Maokai and Amumu because they were very, very strong / OP with Demonic at that stage on that patch, and doing such a good job of marking enemy jungle, controlling the early lane phase for the FlyQuest members to be able to scale into the later game that they were setting up for their team fights, that I just felt like Spica, even though he was not at the top of the scoreboard, was doing so much for the FlyQuest game plan.
So, update for everybody on two different issues. First and foremost, the pause. I've been told it is a minor hardware issue, something to do with a monitor. Hopefully, we should be able to get back in game pretty quickly. Issue number two, Jatt, you trolled us. You were wrong. TSM is officially eliminated from playoff contention. They have no chance to participate in playoffs, regardless of whether or not they win this game and how the rest of the day shakes out. TSM will not make playoffs, but they can still play spoiler to longtime rival Cloud9 by winning the game against... No, wait.
They have to
They're
lose
helping-
for that to be a tiebreaker.
I hate stupid standings so much. I can't get them right. But yeah, so TSM can play buddy to longtime rival Cloud9 by defeating FlyQuest, because if FlyQuest wins, then the's a first place title.
All right, we're back in it, lads.
Let's go. All right.
Reminder,
Hardware
Vi
resolved.
just solo killed Wukong.
Yes.
Thank you
Don't
for
go.
the refresher. Absolutely dominated. Love this. It's a pretty big power spike on Vi too. Even not even to be able to complete the full black cleaver, but You have so much cooldown reduction though with the double components here. I want to see where he goes next.
Total gold, Spica's at the top of the chart. Not only did he get the solo kill on his opponent, he's up like 5 camps.
He took both of those camps. Like, not only did he burn his flash to the W, forced him off both of the camps, took those as well. Absolute bully in the jungle. And the ultimate's going to come back off cooldown pretty shortly here. Looks like they do have the rotation here with support recall timers for Eyla to move up towards the Rift Herald. That means bottom side is going to be 2v1. They know because Eyla cleared the ward up on top side. So they know Prince here. They've got a wave building, and Wukong is on Gromp. Kind of far away if they wanted to do anything, so looks like it is just going to be a recall and reset.
One difference between this game and the previous one, when CLG got ahead early in the previous game, their gold lead was actually not a whole lot because of what the Cloud9 bottom lane was doing, taking the plates, out-farming their opponents.
Stop?
But here, ooh, nice use of the super mega death rocket for tempo there from WildTurtle.
WildTurtle can solo kill here, for sure. If Jack just crashes wave, I guess he's a little bit scared of Vi, which makes it a bit hard for him. But he's definitely going to be able to fight him here on this wave.
TSM
Maybe Eyla should defend.
Yeah, TSM also know that Eyla is up here still from clearing the ward and hasn't showed back bottom, so it looks like they are going to sacrifice.
There you go. 2 out of 2 neutral objectives secured for FlyQuest. The first one was a steal. The second one, they just took all on their own.
And it doesn't even look like Jinx is going to get a turret plate. Prince getting back just in time? Question mark?
Maybe. Nope. Putting a lot of damage here. Nice.
They also took that opportunity. I do like this, at least from TSM. During the Rift Herald sacrifice, they warded up this red quadrant of the jungle between mid and bottom. And so Chime trying to work with Bugi right now. Wukong with the ultimate available really wants to make a play.
Maple will not hit the scat of the week, and VicLa recognizes the easiest way out of this is just going home the long way. Now he'll walk back into the lane. Yeah, he takes 1 Q from Maple, but not bad considering TSM was ready to commit 3 players for that kill. Drake coming up. FlyQuest has control over the bottom side river this time. Remember last time it was TSM setting it up, but FlyQuest forced them off. They used the flash from VicLa as the trade, and they secured the objective. But now let's see if TSM wants to contest this or if FlyQuest can just take it for free. Spica still much stronger. Black Cleaver versus Caulfield's Warhammer in jungler inventory.
Yeah, I think it's semi-suicidal if TSM actually contested because FlyQuest had mid push and bottom push off the Heimerdinger, and Vi is massively ahead. So it would be it would take some big outplays, let's say, to be able to win that dragon fight. Impact on the top side though.
Impact having to jump back to the minions. Hauntzer is a brick wall, and he is ready to shove this wave all the way up. Impact does have TP, so he can just return to base and then rejoin up here. Hauntzer's very
Hauntzer
decent
might look to solo kill here.
with the TP cooldowns. Yeah, let's see if he can do it. We've seen this so many times on Cassante. I'm sure you've played this so many times on Cassante. If you can hit one of those knockbacks and follow it up with the other 2, you're feeling great.
Yeah, exactly. You just W him next to the wall, ulti him over the wall, and he's just like way farther away from his tower. The game state honestly is looking pretty good for FlyQuest right now. I think it's really hard for TSM to fight really any objective just because Vi's so far ahead, and Jax is also now just going to beat Cassante for pretty much the rest of the game, honestly.
So as someone who is clearly non-biased and doesn't have either one of the teams that you want to win this game, if you're TSM, you know, you're down early on here, your opponents are controlling the neutral objectives 3 for 3, how would you want to play this out from here to make sure that this doesn't keep slipping away from you?
I mean, realistically, you just have to play around your vision. You have to look for picks with Syndra QE, Wukong ult, Thresh hook, and you can't really 5v5 it at objectives at this point of the game, but yeah.
Spica's got that timer from Red Buff, remember, from last time around.
Yep.
I'm sure Bugi remembers, so TSM know. FlyQuest took the red, they've got the guaranteed timer. They make a topside move with VicLa's roam timer on the Annie.
Oh, Chime goes in, he hooks the turret, plays the players right back in. Turtle's taking some damage. Bugi wants to go in after Eyla, finds the Cyclone and the Super Mega Death Rocket from Turtle, puts the money on the right man. TSM bring their jungler down and find their first kill of the game.
Beautiful gameplay from TSM. That's what I like to see. I think Wukong definitely is gonna be very happy to look bot lane again actually now, because now Heimerdinger has no flash. He can't really play aggressively. Maybe Jinx Thresh can actually get prio on majority of the waves.
Yeah, Hauntzer might be in for some pain here because that turret will get one shot by the Herald, so Hauntzer's got to get out of there.
Herald summoned up. Demolish proc plus the charge should be all she wrote. There it goes. First turret over to FlyQuest.
I do love that choice from Bugi though. You know, if you're a jungler and you're behind 1v1 with enemy jungle, you tell your other side of the map, hey, he's stealing my second red buff, or my third red buff here. Guess what? You're on your own. I'm out of here. I gotta make a play on the opposite side
They're
of the map.
actually gonna look for Impact here. I think they can, oh, he could have played way more aggressively on that timer. I think Impact might have actually been forced to at least flash though, but still walking up. This is really aggressive from Impact.
No
There's if he
ulti
can
for
win.
Bugi, remember. He can't use the Cyclone. Impact now being ganked by a third man. This has to be death for the Jax. Bugi doesn't want to be targeted and bursted down. He doesn't want to trade this. There's no way. There's no way. That is fully illegal. Impact just walks away from 3.
And look what happens when you absorb 3 members up to the other side of the map. The Zeri, no way.
He drank the potion. He drank his potion in time. It saved him with 20 HP.
I love how he drops a distraction panic ward too. Like it's gonna distract the minions away or something.
Good vision.
It does not do that, by the way.
Wow.
Moly. Okay, well, so still though, on the other side of the map, since 3 members went after Impact, they made a power play. This is the beginning of the bottom side initiation. So hooks onto the tower, still gets in range for the play.
Yeah, I think here FlyQuest bot lane just sort of misplayed, especially Eyla. Like when your Vi's taking the enemy red buff, it's very clear he's not showing. He's going to be looking bot lane. They should be playing way more defensively.
And then Impact. Okay, so they wait fully till Chime comes.
I just don't like this ulti from K'Sante. I think if he just waits for Jax to use E and then ults, it's a lot better. You can just follow with the flash if you're on top of them. But very well played by Impact as well, honestly.
And here's another look at this.
Flash away from Turtle. Turtle snipes. I mean, honestly, really good skill shots from Turtle. He hits the zap into ultimate.
5 HP. The lowest he got was 5 HP from the minion autos. Spica makes the dive. Turtle was the guy on TSM that actually had a little bit of money, but Spica just beats him up and takes it. That's a 4,000 gold lead for FlyQuest with Maple's death.
And Spica's flashing his own old TSM icon at them as he takes down his former organization 2-0 now, and absolute domination.
Fantastic banter from Spica as per usual.
Maple just should not be sitting next to the wall when Annie is clearly there. I'm not really sure what he was doing, but Impact is going to solo Herald. It's pretty good for Jax to have a lot of side lane pressure now with him taking the Herald. If they ever decide to like move with K'Sante to a different lane, he just heralds the tier 2, gets free 600 gold. Very good by him.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a big ego Impact game because he's already willingly taking 1v3s and then being able to escape with his life. Now he's got his own Rift Herald in his pocket. That does things to a top laner's mind.
Well, TSM are trying to get themselves a Drake. They'd attempted on Drake number 1.
Shut down.
They got forced off. Drake number 2, their opponents were just taking. If FlyQuest gets this one, they're on sole point before 17 minutes. That is a nightmare, and TSM will stop that nightmare here. Eyla gets picked, but now Bugi's in danger. He gets back up the wall with the clone. Objective bounty plus a kill for TSM, really big.
And
it looks like top tier 2 will probably go down here just because Jax is demolished. He's just going to use the Herald on it. It's my assumption, but he's not actually using it right now.
yeah, he's whacking away up on that top side. Objective bounty shut down for TSM, plus Eyla too close, getting an extra kill over onto that side. Looks like FlyQuest should still be able to pressure pretty heavily. Bottom side being pushed out by Maple.
I think I would have liked to see K'Sante just TP on the tower to force him to use the Herald to get the tower. I'm not really sure why he's holding it. I guess he thinks he needs to use it for bot lane to defend bot tier 1, but I don't think that is worth holding. Now Jax just runs mid, uses Herald on mid. They have so much pressure in this map.
Yeah, just torpedo the mid lane turret for free. No problem for FlyQuest as they keep building up this lead. 3 men middle. They might not even need the Herald. They got Prince and Eyla in position, should just knock this one down.
Yeah, the difference in which turret you kill is so massive too. I kind of agree, just using teleport to get a secondary side lane turret Those things are worth 800 gold into the Jack's pockets now. Actually, Vi gonna have to.
Oh, nice play from Chime to force out Spica's flash.
Pretty good by Champ. Well played, well played. Not bad at Thresh, actually. I played with him last night in solo queue and I went like 0-8 on Akali.
Did he know it was you or was
Yeah,
it
he knew.
secret?
I think me and Eminence had a combined 26 deaths last night on his solo queue team.
That was.
We were cosplaying. I mean, we were ready for today, I guess.
That's right. 26. Wait, if you were 0-8, that means M&S was 0-8.
No. I was like 0-8 and then I came back and they're like 3-13. You know?
Oh, okay. All right, bringing it back a little bit, getting on the board. All right.
That's a comeback right there. 3-13.
Oh, man. Well, right now, TSM needs some kind of a comeback, man, because 18.5 minutes into the game, down 5,000 gold. This is a nasty spot to be in. They're going to need some kind of a mistake from FlyQuest here, but Fly has been playing it clean.
Yeah, you might want to start warming up for the tiebreaker game at the end of the day there.
Damn it, man.
Calisthenics, stretch out the fingers a little.
Analyzing your possible opponents right now.
Yeah, Impact's looking real good. I'm kind of scared.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be able to get Sojin pretty quickly here next back. That's another tower. It falls to him. That bottom one was still standing on the outer one, so more solo gold, more split push here for this Jax.
I think they're going to be looking to use Herald here, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, he's running out of time. It's got to be dropped somewhere in the next 60 seconds.
I guess if they can get it without using
Yeah, if they don't
Herald.
need it, though, I mean...
I don't know what TSM is, but... Oh, Impact with the instinct. Oh, why is that Hauntzer not W in ulti? Okay, whatever.
Unlucky.
I think solo with... No, actually.
I'm waiting for the solo tweet now. Where I want to see a production. If solo tweets something, we gotta throw that up.
Yeah, make sure you
That'd be
bring it
hilarious.
to us ASAP. Speaking of as soon as possible, Herald, it's got to get dropped. It's got to go somewhere. They've got like 30 seconds left to use this stupid thing.
Oh, going.
Eyla.
They don't kill him here either. I mean, he can flash and get the kill. I'm not sure if it's... Actually, he might just...
Oh, yeah, he wants it. They're saying anything is everything in this game because they do not have a lot to work with. They'll at least kill the support. All 3 deaths on FlyQuest's side are the Heimerdinger, so...
I mean, to be fair, like, Wukong using flash here, I'm not actually sure is worth, just because the next dragon fight is going to be pretty much impossible without his flash.
Yeah,
I would say worth her, Eyla, you know? You already died 2 times, might as well die a third
Good
time.
death?
Good death, good death.
that's a 5-head kind of barrel Heimerdinger play right there. We're going dying for some bigger cooldowns before the dragon fight. If TSM weren't going to give it up before, definitely going to give it up now.
Herald finally summoned. Even though they didn't need it for either of the sides, it ends up achieving absolutely nothing overall. So, little unfortunate for FlyQuest there. TSM can at least accept that as a very, very dim silver lining in a game that is drastically against them.
At that point, you just save it. You let your own Herald expire in your inventory so you don't give them
25
the
gold.
I would have
gold.
actually just preferred for him to use the top lane, just have the pressure in the top lane. So if no one goes top lane, Herald will slowly push top, and then dragon spawning. That probably would have been the best
The
play.
delayed cast, like cast it far back from top lane.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a while to walk
Cast
up.
it like in
cast
your
it,
base.
you cast it by like the inhibitor.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the Herald's gone, but the dragons continue to spawn on Summoner's Rift. 20 seconds before the next one comes up, it will be soul point for FlyQuest. A TP summoned up by TSM here to bring their mid laner into the mid lane to potentially contest something. Spica's charging up the Vault Breaker, just jumps over the wall instead, not seeing a target that he would be able to close distance on. VicLa ready to go with the stun, and FlyQuest are not immediately going to the Drake. They're going to leave Impact to solo the Drake down while the remaining 4 players have this standoff with TSM.
Yeah, nothing's really going to happen here. I mean, TSM obviously wanted to start the Baron, but now that FlyQuest is full mid, Jax is taking the dragon, he can always TP in. I don't really think TSM can do much here.
Yeah, unless they made a big error and they overcommitted to other half of the map.
Jinx rocket?
I like the attempt.
They might just start it anyway because Jax is low, I guess.
Problem is, I think Impact is going back to base. He's going to teleport. TSM's team does not do enough damage to burn this down quickly, and it means that there's really no chance for them to try to punish this Drake take. Soul point, 22 minutes in for FlyQuest.
Okay, so that is a really...
Whoa. Maple face checks the Annie, and the follow-up from Spica's Vi takes him low. The Seraph's Embrace shield keeps him alive for an extra second, but Maple will fall. FlyQuest now looking to go even further in. Hauntzer ults, impact over the wall into the Baron pit, and is pulled to safety by Chime.
Look at this with the Thresh Lantern and all the dashes of Cassandre. He's jumping all over the Baron pit. But that window now here for FlyQuest, that's an easy reset, push out, free kill on Maple. I was gonna say, ooh, VicLa.
Ooh.
Bugi does have ult.
They don't have Jack's TP here, so I think he's actually just dead here. I mean, he might try to flash. Oh, cue the minion.
Cued the minion, a little unlucky. Chime showing up to guarantee that VicLa doesn't have any outplay potential here, and Bugi picks up his second kill of the game.
They can't really do anything with it though, just because Syndra has no TP. Maybe if Syndra has TP, they just start the Baron instantly and try to go for like a flip play, but I don't think it's very good, obviously. Jax actually doesn't have TP anymore, and Cassandre does, so anytime Jax goes bot lane, TSM should be looking to fight on top side with Cassandre TP.
Jax has entered Earth mode as well with the Spear of Shojin being completed. This will be very problematic. I feel like you have to send a minimum of 3 guys after him to kill him now. Otherwise, he's just going to be able to outplay with the incredibly low cooldowns on the leap strike and the counter strike.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he can't really hit the tower in front of Cassandre's face, but he can just get pushed on like the tier 2 wave and then just run into the jungle, take all their camps. That's what I think he should be doing.
Yeah, FlyQuest, they're just going to clear out all the vision around Baron, let Jax do his flip push thing, slowly take over the more and more territory with that Fog of War, make TSM come to you, look for your pick. You've got Vi, you've got Annie. They've got pretty quick turn here as far as picking anyone off. Chime going to go in for the safe warding strategy though, Lantern into ward here on the backside, and Bugi goes to follow it up with the inside vision. Jax, I like that ward from Impact though, trying to get the split push lane open for himself. Maybe he does even go up and try and get a Demolish proc or something.
I mean, realistically, he can use E and try to get Demolish proc. It could be a little bit risky if you don't see everyone, but if your teammates are threatening Baron and you see Syndra or you see Jinx, I think it should be safe.
5 pick.
Spica's over the wall, hanging out in the brush, punches Bugi just like back in the day at the start of the game for the red buff. This time Bugi not in danger of immediately dying from it, but FlyQuest are doing everything they can to control the vision here in the red side jungle of TSM.
And TSM even call Hauntzer over. You know, he rotates from bottom side. That allows Impact to push up the wave. Impact's got timing window now to get a proc off.
Yeah, he's gonna take half the tower here, and pretty rough. I'm not really sure why Cassandre decided to run mid, but pretty good for Impact.
Yeah, maybe TSM calls right there where, hey, we are picked. Punch me, help!
Oh.
Nice, VicLa going for the big engage on Maple. Spica with the follow-up from downtown, and Maple's out of there. Bottom lane, Impact continuing to terrorize Hauntzer as he's taken the tier 2. He's pushed up to the tier 3, and the rest of his team now sees the green light to start up the Baron. Spica and Prince are gonna duo it, while Eyla and VicLa keep TSM away.
Killed Tibbers. Nice. Well, VicLa's movement goes crazy, bro.
VicLa's looking pretty good here. Has to fall back a little.
Nice
Doesn't want to be
spacing.
tagged for damage. VicLa gets exploded. Prince jumps over the wall, seeing if he can get anything back. WildTurtle's at half HP, and TSM might have just found their angle. Shut down over to Hauntzer on Cassandre. He goes in for the engage on Prince, who hops over the wall back to safety, but he's still on the wrong side of the rift. He falls back to Eyla and to Impact. TSM won't be able to take Baron off of that, but hey, they got a couple of pretty critical kills.
Dude, Turtle Jinx still has it here. He just was locked on to VicLa, absolutely demolished him. Poked him down, hit every zap, making it look point and click. Rocket range on him. He does it all himself. That was zap number 1. He hits another zap here too.
Yeah, he played this very well. Nice spacing as well. I'm not really sure if they could stop Baron. I don't think they could stop Baron if Cassandre doesn't use ulti. Could be close though. It'd just be 3 forwards.
Yeah,
So-
this moment right here.
Yeah, realistically, I think it doesn't really matter. I mean, he just ultis. I don't think they could stop Baron anyway, just because Jax is so fed. If they all go into the pit, it'll kill them all. Now, this dragon fight is basically like who wins the game. Okay, because I'm pretty sure TSM is going to fight to the death, but FlyQuest has positioned really good flanks on Jax.
TSM only need 10 seconds for a Wukong ultimate. I think they easily will be able to wait that 10 seconds. Bugi looking for a flank.
He does not want anything to do with Impact, though.
Yeah, TSM's going to try to go through bot side of the map, but Jax will still have a really good flank on Jinx and Syndra. Both have no flash. This is a very good position for Impact.
He showed on the minions. They know he's here.
FlyQuest
Yeah, they
slowly whittling away at the Drake.
Well, Jax actually gave position because he went back around, so maybe they can walk in now on the carries. Not really sure why, but
Bugi's coming. He wants a W in.
yeah.
Yeah, FlyQuest is taking their time with this. They don't want to flip it. They just want to go for the fight instead. Bugi's in the back line, finding Cyclone on multiple targets, but is it enough? He's not doing any real damage. Bugi gets back away, but now they got to be concerned about Hauntzer. He's very low. Turtle's very low. Prince goes over the wall. Prince goes in, and Turtle goes down.
Prince
is ready. He's got a double kill on the Zeri.
Gonna get a
Make it a
pentakill.
triple. Make it a quadra. It's a pentakill for Prince. He does it again, and that is all she wrote.
I think we might be banning Zeri, guys.
So remember when you guys were talking about Spica versus Prince, and I said, I don't know, man. Remember Prince in the first half of the split?
Well, you didn't say Prince, so you can stop talking right now.
Okay.
Hey, Spica solo killed Bugi level 5 to 6 at his red. Remember
That
that?
is true.
All right,
He
all
broke
right.
open the game.
To me, honestly, that's more impressive than a Zeri Penta. Zeri
I agree.
Pentas are
He was set up. He played well, but like, come on. Spica carried this game.
This is some incredible code. But we do have a pretty incredible team fight coming out from FlyQuest. They took the dragon slow and steady. They end up securing the soul after. Prince went from 1 kill to 6 in a single fight, and the gold lead is 11K.
He finished the BT after that. Guess what? Zeri's got 3,000 HP now online. Here's another look at it from Prince's point of view. And I guess the critical, you want to give him credit moment is that going in with impact for the full chase down, but Fudge started calling it as soon as he saw Prince take the wall slide.
Yeah, I mean, he has both some.
Everybody's low, he has double sums.
Jax just flashes in with him.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty clean team fight from FlyQuest.
FlyQuest is...
Oh, not just a Bloodthirster, by the way. A Bloodthirster and a QSS.
Prince did more than everybody else in his team put together in terms of damage, and Turtle had a donut. The Jinx was never able to contribute to the team fight at all.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, though, to give like WildTurtle some... I mean, he couldn't really auto-attack. The position of the team fight is just impossible for TSM to win. Like, even if he auto-attacks twice, he does 300 damage, nothing changes in the fight. So.
Well, now TSM is faced with a nearly impossible situation. VicLa's taken down to nearly nothing, but he has the stasis to just bait him into a bad fight. Spica goes after Maple. Impact is soloing out Hauntzer. The Syndra tries to get away, but it won't happen. A double kill back over to Prince. They won't be able to secure another Penta this time, but they don't need it. It's a 5v3. They've got more health. They've got more gold. They've got more minions. They've got everything they need. And FlyQuest will absolutely crush TSM and secure themselves a tiebreaker for first place.
All right, Fudge, there's your bonus. So, step number 1, what we learned? We're banning Zeri. Don't let Prince have that.
We might be banning Zeri. We'll see about that.
Yeah, the Zeri seemed a little bit of an issue there later on.
How you feeling about Berserker could run the Draven into it again?
I mean, I think that, you know, if we don't play like we did last game, we'll still win. But we might play like we did last game, you never know. So it's going to be a close match. I mean, they're really good, obviously, but I think we also have shown to be really good.
Well, Fudge, thank you so much for joining us here on the cast for this game. But now your next task is the post-game interview.
Yeah, I don't know what questions I'm going to ask.
We gotta have you take your headset off here. I'll unclip it. Go ahead and you can remove that. Head on down to the stage, and we'll join back up with you once everything's ready to go down there. Kobe, you and I just saw an absolute demolishing of TSM. Spica taking over in the jungle early. Prince being set up for the pentakill later on. The squad of FlyQuest just ran the whole map.
They certainly did. Both our games today, to start the day, have been pretty one-sided. CLG earlier as well, delivering the opposite side of that to Cloud9 themselves. So we'll get some data today. What is better, starting out the day with a big win to gain confidence, or starting out the day with a nice big loss to get you motivated, get you hungry, get you mad for the tiebreaker? Well, at the end of the day, we'll find out. Whoever wins the FlyQuest Cloud9 tiebreaker will be your answer.
FlyQuest C9 tiebreaker, and the next 3 games still have the opportunity to give us a four-way tiebreaker with the other teams that are all still present here in playoffs. But it does mean Fly and C9, they're your guaranteed 1 and 2. We get to play another head-to-head tiebreaker later to determine who gets what. That's going to be exciting. Of course, for Fudge and those C9 boys, now they're sweating a little bit. They're like, all right, go back, pull up the FlyQuest VoD. Let's see what we got to deal with here. Because the Zeri and the Vi, Prince and Spica, having a great game there. You can see 14 and 4, all tied up at the top. 10 and 7 for EG, 10 and 8 for CLG. That means if EG loses and 100 Thieves and Golden Guardians both win, that's the four-way tiebreaker scenario right there.
Yep, we have our playoff bracket. Now all that's left to decide who plays who, the seeding that goes into it, and it is going to be hard fought. Honestly, with this recent performance from FlyQuest, that gives a lot of extra faith in this team, whereas last week, everybody, including myself, was all about Cloud9 to the moon. FlyQuest, I knew it all along. You know,
They're posers.
exactly. Teams talking all split long about how their scrims are so much worse than their stage games. But speaking of stage, we are ready to join Fudge, ready for the interview with Spica. Goodbye. Well played, my friend.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fudge interviewing Spica. So with that win, we are going to be playing a tiebreaker, probably at like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So, did you drink any coffee? Is your caffeine going to be,
Ooh, you see, the thing with me, right, is I usually drink coffee really early, and I slam caffeine before every game day. So usually by like 10 p.m., I'm a zombie. So maybe I need to, re-up on the caffeine.
Yeah, I think we're all going to be drinking a lot of coffee. I have another question. So, do you think you are more deserving of MVP or Prince on your team?
Oh. I mean, I got to give it to Prince because he got a pentakill. Because before when we were doing really well earlier on the split, we were trying to get him that pentakill, and he didn't get it. And I know he was kind of a little sad, seeing Berserker getting the pentakill.
True,
I was teasing him saying, oh, why Berserker get penta? You don't. But, I'm really happy that he finally got his penta on his signature champion. I think he's a really important part of our team. And obviously in a team game, it's, people help each other, right? It's not just one person doing all the work, but I think his individual performance has just been really insane, so I think he definitely deserves it.
Yeah, I also wanted to ask, on your team, who actually talks the most? Who's the one making most of the calls? Because I know that all your players are really,
You trying
really
to scout us, or?
I'm not scouting anything. What does it matter?
Okay,
If I know, does it matter?
I think it's early game is mostly me, because I'm the jungler. I think we have inexperienced players, and Impact, while being very experienced, he's a top laner. I don't see him for like 90% of the game. So usually it's me making most of the call, and then if sometimes, when Prince is ahead, he makes really good calls. So if he's ahead, he'll make a lot of the team fight and macro calls as well. But overall, I think I do most of the early game, and then mid game is like a mix.
Okay, thank you for telling me. Now I can win. Well, that was my last question. I'm going to be sending it to the lounge. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fudge. And I gotta say, I love Spica giving Prince the MVP nod. That's such a valuable thing to have in a teammate.
The most valuable thing.
Probably the most valuable is to be able to give credit to others.
Especially as a jungler.
Yeah, I think so.
That's probably the most valuable jungler.
He might be the most
supportive.
valuable.
You guys
Very
are
supportive of this
ridiculous.
team.
Sorry, we got to refocus quickly onto TSM. That's the last time you're going to see them in Spring Split, unfortunately not making it into playoffs. But I would say having a more impressive split than a lot of people were giving them credit for. And it was also cool to see Turtle stepping back in the middle of the split.
Yeah, they already mentioned it, even including the oversimplified, the idea of us, the analysts, the fans, players didn't expect TSM to perform as well as they did going into the season. They had a set identity. Maple was actually such a standout player, and I think how people have to change their tone and how they talk about him as a mid laner. So I'm interested in seeing how all pro discussions go around that lane specifically. But it was nice to see it, and yeah, good call out on WildTurtle.
Yeah, I think this team really surprised us. I appreciated that they found their identity of team fighting pretty quickly, even though when we had them on last week, I'm talking to, obviously WildTurtle hadn't been on the team that long, but talking to Chime and Solo, they were both just we just kind of pick champions that go in, and then we realize they can all team fight. So that was pretty interesting. I am curious to see what they do for summer, especially with the kind of last minute swap of Hauntzer coming in for the last 2 games. But I do think ultimately they were a team that pleasantly surprised us with how well coordinated they were.
Cool. Well, we just did the fold there. That means we are guaranteed one tiebreaker at least. FlyQuest versus C9.
Ugh.
The battle for first place, maybe MVP. We don't know what's
Definitely the
on
battle
the
for
line.
MVP.
Man, the recency bias
The
is
recency.
insane.
It is
crazy.
insane.
It's
But
insane. The winner of that tiebreaker game is just, oh man.
so make sure you guys stick around. There'll be at least one bonus game today. We'll see how many others we are able to get over the course of this, but that's it for us for right now. TL versus EG is next, but first, here's some with Meteos with his suggestion box.
Next one's from Dean. If you were to come back to one current LCS team, which team would you like to play on? Probably FlyQuest. They're really good. Hi, I'm Meteos, and I'm here answering questions from the LCS Discord. This one's from Emery the White. Which newer jungle champion do you wish was around while you were pro? I think maybe Viego. He's pretty cool to play. I think he fills a good role in competitive. Like, you get to play as everything. It'd be fun. This one's from Yadid. It says, who do you predict is most likely to write a book about their time in the LCS? Well, Busio said he likes to read books in the sun during his off time, so maybe him. I don't know who else reads. This one's from Son of a Star. What meta shifts would you like to see going into playoffs and then MSI? I would like to see a shift away from Zeri and Enchanters. I think the game's generally more fun to watch and play when it's a lot of, melee sports, playmaking champs, and just a lot of bloody games. This next one's from Carson. What pick did you love to play in the past that hasn't been seen yet this season? That'd have to be Rek'Sai for me, or maybe Zach. I think both those champs are super fun to play, fun to watch, they make stuff happen, so that'd be cool. This next one's from Dodger. Which teammate made the biggest impact on you during your career? Well, there's Impact in the name, so Impact was definitely one of them, but I would say overall probably Sneaky. Obviously, me and him are really good friends, learned a lot from each other playing together, and just super good teammate. This next one's from Goopus McGurg. Says, historically, you've been a pretty enthusiastic Elise player. How do you feel about her presence in the meta this year? I think it's cool to see Elise. It's been a while since we've actually seen her get played in pro, and yeah, she's generally a pretty high action hero, champion, and it's fun to watch. This one's from Lo-Fi. If you could choose one thing to change in jungle, what would you do? I would like to do something about late invades, like level 1 invades, because those just swing the game so much, and there's really not much you can do as a jungler about it. It's really just team-oriented, and it can just totally skew the game. This one's from Cantrips. Meteos, please draft a team around yourself from the current rosters of LCS and LCS Challenger teams. Who would you choose and why? Ooh, that's a tough one. So, I almost feel like I would just slot myself into FlyQuest. I would definitely want to play with Impact, Prince. For support, I'll say Vulcan. And for mid, JoJo. I think that's it. What do I do now? Cool. Killed it.